Glad that we could be sitting here at 3-0, and looking forward to this challenge. Being on the road for the last couple of weeks has been great. That we were able to see our fans on the road, both at Dallas and in Laramie. But really looking forward to being at home for this game. We're opening up conference play against Kansas State. Really, really talented team, and excited about the matchup. Ranked team, and so well coached. Have a lot of respect for that program. I mean, you're looking at the connections between BYU has Lavelle Edwards and Kansas State has Bill Snyder, and so you look at the programs and the history behind both programs. I think it's a really cool story, and I have a lot of respect for Chris Kleiman and what he does as a head coach. He's a good friend. I actually got to know him and his wife Rhonda on the Nike retreat with the coaches, and we got to connect. And I've always known about him as a coach. You've seen what he's done, what he did at North Dakota State. Have tons of respect for what he's doing as a head coach there, and now at Kansas State. And man, just really, really admire his work, and then get to meet him in person. And he is a good person, a great person, and was able to spend some time with him and his wife and with other coaches, but really, really got to connect with him, and looking forward to seeing him because with our friendship. But this is going to be a game, our team against theirs, and but looking forward to the matchup. He has a really good coaching staff that he's hired. Guys like Matt Wells is on the staff, people that I knew from before, and so Wellesley's there, and then you have Mike Tuiasosopo as the D-line coach as well. So, and then they have a great coaching staff. They've done a great job with their team this year, and obviously, especially watching them. I think they played the Friday game last week, so everybody was able to watch them play, and very dangerous team. You look at what they can do as a team overall. I think they play great defense, play great on offense, and they do a great job on special teams as well. So. I talked about how well coached they are. They have really good talent too, and so it's going to be a true test for us. They're one of the teams that are favored to win this conference and highly ranked, and so we're looking forward to the matchup. I'm excited about the opportunities that we have, and to see and know more about ourselves and about our program and how much progress we've made. I felt like we've made some great progress throughout this season, and especially from last year, and really looking forward to this game. So. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be at home, and I think it's going to be. There's a lot of excitement going on, and energy around the uniforms and all that stuff. I just want to get to the game, so I'm looking forward to this week prep and take any questions you guys have for me.
Thanks, Coach. We'll start with a question from John Kuhn and then Mitch Harper.
Kalani, you look at the last 2 weeks. Offensively, third down and conversions, you guys have converted 4 of 24 on third down. Are there common threads that are kind of limiting the third down success that you've been able to identify just through watching film and kind of seeing what's going on?
Yeah, I care about the points on the board. I know that we're leaving some points on the field, so let's convert, get some more conversions, keep drives going, and get the ball in the end zone. So I'm not really concerned about the last 2 weeks as much as I want to see us perform better this week, and we know how to fix it. We'll get working on it. So hopefully we'll be better this weekend. But I've seen our offense be really. Look at the fourth down conversions. So let's just treat third down like fourth down. I think we'll be fine.
Lonnie, what's going to be different about this team after a 3-0 start compared to last year, in your opinion?
Well, we'll find out. I feel good about the team. If you guys think they haven't made any progress from last year to now, then that's your opinion. But I think we'll show it. I think people can realize that we're a different team than last year's team, and we'll keep working on it. We are sitting at 3-0, and there's some really good things that we're doing. I think a lot of people want to focus on the negative. We'll get better. We know how to fix those things, and we'll make it work. But I like to praise the things that we've done already as a team.
Go ahead, Jay, and then Jared Lloyd.
Mitch just took the question, so I'm just switching gears a little bit here. Kalani, we saw a few penalties kind of sneak in after the first 2 games you were played really cleanly. Is that a concern, or have you been able to pinpoint why those happened and how to fix them?
Yeah, we'll fix them. I mean, we're a disciplined team. A lot of the penalties came at the end of the game, and so got to get better with our technique and just don't put yourself in a position where refs can make a call on it. And we talked about points being on the board. That caused us not to have for defense not to get points, keep points off the board, and for an offense not to put points on the board. So yeah, we're working on all those things.
Kalani, the Big 12 has a reputation of playing lots of close games. We've already seen that, at UCF, TCU, and some other opportunities there. In those games, the littlest thing can make a big difference, but at the same point, it can be dangerous to be thinking too much about that instead of just playing. How do you balance the two with your boys?
Yeah, I think the goals is just be consistent and just this is where those games is where all the little things when you put them all together, you have to see where you're at, if you're on top of it or not, and if it's favorable in your position. I mean, I look at the like an example is we had an early turnover, but after that we took care of the football. So it's also a matter of timing. So when you put all those factors in together, that's what's going to win you or lose you the game. So in order to do that, we got to be consistent and got to just keep playing brand new downs and got to have a short memory on a lot of things. So as we start doing that, fortunately we've had a close game. This is the one that we had against SMU last week. So when we put all our our situational football stuff together in fall camp and in practices, it's nice to see our guys get out there and execute plays and make them work. I mean, that's how we're going to fix things and get better in things like tackling or things like creating turnovers or things like third down conversion.
So Jake Hatch and then Mitch Harper.
Why you guys have used different schemes to try to slow down the opposing running quarterback play, spies and the like. What's your concern level with a guy like Avery Johnson this week?
Well, Avery's a dynamic runner. I think he's he. I mean, they have the ability to just call QB runs, and and then he can take a small little gap and turn it into a big time play. And so, and then he's super athletic, so he can create on his feet even in the pass game. He can create more time for him in the pocket. And then he's always a threat to scramble and hurt you that way. So he's a complete player when it comes to quarterbacks. And you're looking at all the different type of threats. He's got a lot of different weapons and tough kid too, man. I think he's got a great command of the offense, and they've done a great job at setting him up to have success. But he could do whatever you need a quarterback to do. I've been really impressed with him on film.
Kalani, you were able to give snaps to young players in non-conference. I'm curious, what's the readiness level you feel of that freshman and sophomore class for Big 12 play to have the depth ready for the grind of the conference season?
They'll be ready. I think they have a role, and a lot of them will be called on to do some things. I mean, depending on the matchups and things like that. But I was pleased with how they've come along. Obviously, the drive in the Wyoming game I wasn't happy about when we gave up those points, and I think a lot of yardage. But it's what we needed. We needed those guys to get that valuable experience, and it was worth the sacrifice of yards and even some points in the game last week because I think it'll pay off in games like this coming this weekend. So this is going to be a fun atmosphere. It's going to be a fun game. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and so we feel we're deeper than we've ever been before, and we've had to test some of our depth in the running back position, and I think we'll be in a really good spot though. We knew that this is a violent and physical game, so I feel good about where we stand. I feel good about the talent, especially with the incoming freshmen. There's a lot of talent there.
Thanks. We'll have some more questions from Sean Walker and then Kevin Reynolds.
Yeah, Coach, we talked about this a little bit after the game on Saturday, but I'm wondering collectively, I know it's not a perfect sample size, but 3 games into this year under Jake Retzlaff versus 4 years, 4 games that he started last year. What's been kind of the biggest difference that you're noticing about Jake on the field, his demeanor, mechanics, like whatever that is? What kind of the biggest difference that you're noticing about his game?
Well, he seems to be more comfortable, not just with just the scheme, but just playing on the field and being the starter. And I think he's starting to settle in a little bit. You can see sometimes where I think being a quarterback at BYU, you get a lot of attention, good and bad. So if it doesn't go well, then everyone gets mad at the quarterback. But then on the other side, if things go well, he gets a lot of credit too. So that's just part of being a quarterback here. And so, but the efficiency on offense is on everyone. Everyone's got to do their part. Everyone has to do their 1/11 so that the quarterback can make the right reads and things like that. And so we need Jake to be at his best. But I like that his comfort level and that he's feeling a little bit more settled will be fine. I think we'll be in a really good spot with him there. He's doing a great job at everything that we're asking him as a coaching staff. But it's not perfect. But there's probably a few quarterbacks out there that are playing perfect football right now. But he's getting there. He's improving and he's understanding and he's learning. That's what I love about it. Last year I think he was in a really difficult spot. We had a lot of reps that we spent on Keaton getting all those reps and help build him, and then now we're in a position where he's the guy that's getting the bulk of the reps, and that means he's getting the bulk of the learning, which will be helpful for us.
Hey, Kalani, when you look back at the film, how did you kind of assess how Crew Wakely played last week? And do you have any update on how Mike is doing?
Yeah, I think Mike will be ready to go this week, and he was, we have a deep safety group, so Crew did great. I thought Raider came in and played really well. I mean, you're looking at all the safeties there, Tanner and Tommy and Falatau. Those guys are doing a great job. I know I'm leaving some out, but I trust Jay in getting the safeties ready and Gavin, and so they'll be ready to go by the time we get to the game. Micah's doing great too, so we have a number of players that can help us out.
We'll wrap things up with some follow-ups by Jared, Jake, and then Mitch. Go ahead, Jared.
Kalani, you touched on this in the open, but a late Saturday night game against a ranked opponent of LaBelle Edwards Stadium, you've had a few of these before. How fun are these opportunities to see what the boys can do against a good opponent at home, in front of what's likely to be a really good crowd?
Yeah, I mean I want to show off our fans, man. That's a big part of our program, a big part of the athletic department here is that our fans have packed the house. I mean, you guys saw our game against Southern Illinois. It was a full house, and so there's already a lot of energy going on, leading up to this game, just because our fans are awesome. But I think we knew that Kansas State had a really good team coming back, and we knew they were well coached and they're going to be ready for this game. And I've said it every week, we're going to get everyone's their best shot. I felt like Wyoming did some things that were difficult. We got their best shot, and did we give them ours? I think at times, was it consistent enough? For me, probably not, but I thought we played our best ball of the year last week, and I'm looking forward to playing our best ball of the year this weekend. So that as long as we keep progressing and getting better, I want to see us make a huge step in improvement from Wyoming to the Saturday against Kansas State. A tough task. It's a difficult team, but man, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I want our guys to enjoy it. It's going to be great opportunities for us too.
I want to just ask you for update running back wise. Where do you stand right now, considering that 3 guys apparently have been injured?
Yeah, well, we're still we're still evaluating. There's still a chance that this week that we could see those guys, but right now we feel good about the entire group, man. I was happy with what Miles did when he came in, and happy with Sionemoa, what he did, and happy with Pokai Haunga when he came in. So those guys did a great job, and we know we have Enoch Nawahine that's there too, and so I feel good about the group overall. It was nice to get some of those true freshmen those opportunities. They did a great job.
Kalani, how critical in a game like this against Kansas State will be the trench play, and how ready do you feel like our offensive and defensive lines in this matchup against the Wildcats?
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult task in every conference game. You guys saw it last year, so we definitely knew that we need to get better than what we had last year, and this is going to be tough. I mean, that's Kansas State's got they have great personnel on both O-line and D-line. And so, we're looking forward to it. A very athletic O-line, very tough and stout D-line, and well coached. These guys are really good, tough kids, and they show it on film. So, what a great matchup! I'm looking forward to our guys getting out there and competing with them. We'll find out, man. That's the fun part about this game. We'll find out how good we are and how physical we can be against a great team like Kansas State.
Awesome. That's all the questions we have for today. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll have Jack Kelly up next. So if you guys have questions for Jack, go ahead and raise your hand. Hey Jack, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for taking the time to be here today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll just jump right into some questions. We'll start with Mitch Harper and then Jared Lloyd.
Jack, what's the confidence level of this defense heading into Big 12 play?
We're really confident. We've obviously been playing really well. All 11 of us and the backups have been playing really well. Everyone's doing their part. We know it's going to be a big test for us this week, but we're confident in our abilities.
Go ahead, Jared.
Talk about the test that you're going to be facing going up against Avery Johnson, which kind of seems to be the headline test. I imagine you've seen what he can do. So what's your evaluation?
Yeah, like you said, he's a really great quarterback. They have a lot of deep threats. The O-line is super physical, and they got a great set of backs. So I think it's going to be a big test for us. I think if we do our job and we all do our 111th, we're going to have a good outcome.
Do you feel, Jack, that it's something that you do scheme-wise, or is it going to come down to more individual play? How do you kind of approach an athlete like this?
I think both. Our coaches are going to do a great job of installing everything that we need to have ready for him. And then I think as long as we all are doing our jobs, the scheme that the coaches have ready for us is going to be what determines the outcome of this game.
Awesome. Let's take some more questions from Sean Walker and then Jake Hatch.
Jack, this is a little unconventional, but try to stay with me because when Jake threw that interception early, I think it was his first drive against Wyoming, I saw the team kind of come together around him a little bit. It looked like even the defense was rallying around him in a lot of ways. Just what kind of happened in between, sort of before you guys went out, I guess, after that pick, and maybe on the sideline with the team in general, where you guys sort of picked him up, and I thought he was very good after that point. So can you guys give me a little bit of insight into how the team was feeling after that moment?
I think we all are trusting our coaches, and we know that they're going to put their best player on the field. So we're all just being the best teammates we can, rallying around each other, and we're going to trust that everyone that's on the field is going to do their job to the best of their ability. So I think what was said is just that how much we trust him and how much that we know like what kind of player he is and the ability that he has.
Jack, you guys have had a very potent pass rush this year so far as compared to what it was a season ago. What's been the key to you guys getting after the quarterback?
I think the scheme has been really good. Everyone has a year under their belt with the scheme, so everyone's trusting it and knowing that everyone's going to be in the right position on like certain blitzes and that sort of thing. And then ultimately our strength coaches have done a great job getting us bigger, faster, stronger in the offseason, so I think that plays a part. And then all of our pass rush guys we have here, Coach Chad has done a great job with all of us working on moves and just counter moves, just all that sort of stuff.
I also wanted to ask you just what's your comfort level right now? We've talked to you. You're comfortable with the defense having played in it at Weber, but what's your comfort level just at BYU at this point?
Oh, I'm super comfortable. All the boys have welcomed me in, rallied around me, helped me with any questions I've had. I think this is one of the closest teams I've been a part of. Everyone is super bought in. Everyone trusts each other, so I think it's been really well.
Take some more questions from Jay Drew and then Jared Lloyd.
Hey, Jack, a lot was made when Ben Bywater couldn't go this season. How do you feel like those other guys, kind of the inexperienced guys, maybe like Harrison Taggart and others, have kind of stepped in and filled in his shoes?
Oh, they've done a great job. Obviously, it sucks that we had to replace Ben, but Harrison and Isaiah Glasker have done a phenomenal job putting in the extra work, just understanding the assignment, giving full effort, and they've been making plays. So at the end of the day, I think they haven't missed a step at all, and they're doing what they need to do.
Jack, I don't know. I assume you know the reputation of the Big 12 for having a lot of close games, how a lot of these games come down to a play or two here or there. It means you can't lose focus, but at the same point, you don't want to get too caught up in that. How do you strike that balance as a player?
I'd say just focus on what's coming next. Obviously, there's going to be some great plays that happen, some mistakes that happen. You can't dwell on the past or be too high on the past. You got to stay in the moment. It's called like neutral thinking. You just got to stay in the moment, talk to yourself what you can do in this moment right now, and then just keep going play by play.
How beneficial was having that SMU game come down to the wire, just in the sense of getting that feel here this season?
I think it was great. It showed how all the boys really rally around each other. It made us feel even closer as a team. I think that really brought us together. And then I think it's going to be huge for us going forward because we know that some of these games are going to come down to the end, and we have to be able to trust whoever is on the field, whether it's offense or defense, to make those final plays.
One final thing, Jack, I just wanted to ask about this opportunity. This is one of the reasons you came to BYU, play a home game against a ranked team on a Saturday night in front of a packed house. How much are you looking forward to that?
Oh, I'm super excited, especially with it being a night game. I know the crowd's going to be packed. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a huge advantage for us, and I'm excited to go out there and make some plays in front of this crowd and hopefully come out with a victory.
Thanks, Jared. We'll take some more questions from John Kuhn.
When you look at your success as a defense and holding opponents in the red zone, right now BYU through 3 games is in the top 20 nationally in that category. What's kind of key to your success collectively as a defense in the red zone inside that 20?
I think once you get into that area of the field, it's all about a mindset. You have to know that you're going to dominate your one-on-one, and I think our whole defense is doing a great job at that. We know that there's going to be plays that are going to be made or they might get a couple yards, but at the end of the day, we got to stop them and get them to that 4th down so they have to kick a field goal or go for it.
Do we have any more questions for Jack? No? Okay, perfect. I think you're good.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Go John Kuhn and then Jared Lloyd.
Parker, last couple weeks for the team on third downs, you've been 4 of 24 combined against SMU and Wyoming. What's been kind of the common thread on those downs where you guys have struggled to convert them into first downs, and what do you feel like you need to do as a team to kind of boost that third down conversion number?
I feel like we've had plays out there that we can make, and we just didn't make. Obviously, I had one last game that I should have made, but I think it's just making the plays when we need to. We can convert them. We just need to make the plays.
Parker, I don't know. I know you guys don't pay a ton of attention to the outside noise, but Jake is an interesting figure amongst BYU fans. Some of them, have been really impressed by what he's done. Sometimes they get a little down on him because, some of the missed opportunities. What's it like watching him compete this year and being out there on the field and having him in control of the game?
It's been awesome seeing him really grow and develop from last year to this year. We were with him all off-season throwing. We went down to California with him with John Beck, and it's just good to see him putting all the hours he put in the off-season paying off right now. I mean, he's throwing the ball well, he's running the ball well, he's playing great all around. Obviously, there's still some throws, right, but every quarterback has those. He's looking good, and I'm riding with him.
How important is it this week? I mean, the Big 12 is known for close games. So you get an opportunity against a really good opponent. How important is it for the offense to even ramp it up a notch from where you've been in the first 3 games?
Yeah, we definitely need to. We've had some good games with Southern Illinois and Wyoming. Obviously, the SMU wasn't what we wanted to put on film, but we know we can do better. We have the tools to do it. I think we'll definitely show up and show out against Kansas State and make all the plays that we need to, especially playing at LES. So it'll be a fun game.
We'll go Jake Hatch and then Sean Walker.
Parker, from last year to this year, how much better prepared are you guys for Big 12 play?
I would say we're miles ahead of where we were last year. We didn't really know what to expect going into last year, and now we have a feel. We know we've played some of these teams. We know what to expect. It's no rollover games in the Big 12. Every game is tough. Every game is going to be close, and we just need to lock in every week.
Now, you guys are be honoring the 1996 team this weekend with those throwback uniforms. Are you a guy who's about throwback uniforms, how you guys look on the field, that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm all for the swag. I try to have some drip out there, and these jerseys are definitely some pretty dope unis, especially going all white at home, so it'd be sweet.
Are they pretty clean though, Parker?
Yeah, they're fire. I like them.
Okay, that's good. I was going to ask you about kind of your trust level with Jake, but you sort of answered it there. I believe your words were, I'm riding with him, so I think that kind of tells me sort of what I was going to ask you. Is that sort of the feeling around, I won't ask you to speak for the whole team or the whole offense, but the wide receiver room at least, of kind of ride or die in it to the end with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all trust him. We all know that he can get us the ball. He can make those throws. We just got to make the plays for him, and obviously there's a little controversy with Darius and Jake last week, which I don't know. I think they were just fine. That's just what the outside was projecting onto them. But we're all ride or die with Jake, and we know he can make all these plays, and it's been good to see him play well.
Go ahead, Jay.
Parker, you answered the question about the kind of the introduction to the Big 12 last year. The play that stands out is obviously one you probably want to forget, the Kansas play. I think it was the first play against the Big 12 team.
Yeah.
What did that, maybe the physicality or whatever of that play, kind of teach you guys about the Big 12 that you can use this year?
I would say that nobody's going to be soft in the Big 12. There's not going to be a soft team. Everyone's going to come and hit. Everyone wants to play hard. So we just got to be physical, be the most physical offense out there, be the most physical team out there, and we'll do what we need to do in the Big 12 this year.
Take some more questions from Jared Lloyd.
Parker, the Big 12 is known for close games. I already saw it, TCU and UCF. It kind of has that reputation that these games hinge on a play or two here or there. On the one hand, that means you can't lose focus ever because that could be the game-changing moment. But on the other hand, you want to go play loose, and not get too caught up on mistakes or things like that. How do you strike that balance?
I like to go out and play free. I'm not someone that's just super uptight, worried about all that. Like, if I'm completely free, I'm not worrying about anything. That's when I play my best. So I don't tend to worry about all the stuff that I can't control. I just worry about what I can control and go and do my job.
And how big of an advantage is it to play at LES at night?
Oh, it's huge. Having the rock, having our stadium rocking at night under the lights, there's nothing like it. And it'll be a test for any team that comes in, and it's going to be a fun game this weekend.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the time, Parker. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to have Tyler Batty. So if you guys have questions for Tyler. Hey, Tyler, how are you?
Good. How about you guys?
Doing good. Thank you for being here with us. We're going to start with some questions from Jared Lloyd.
Tyler, you talked during the offseason about the potential of this defense. What's your assessment now as far as how well that potential is being reached here during the season?
I think we're getting there. I think we've still got some good progress to make. As we've seen, we have a capable defense, and it's been a lot of fun these first 3 games to be able to show that. But I think we still have a lot more to prove and a lot more to work on.
Opponents have had some success with the quarterback running, and obviously Kansas State's really good at that. What's the defensive line role? How do you guys try and counter that?
Everyone's just got to do their job. That's really what it comes down to. If everyone does their job, nobody's unaccounted for, and we'll be able to contain that QB rush.
Take some more questions from Sean Walker and then Jake Hatch. Go ahead, Sean.
A little bit on that note, Tyler, but just in general, what is it about K-State's quarterback, about Avery Johnson? He's been getting a lot of flair in the media and on social media. I think a lot of people like his hair, kind of in that regard. But what kind of stands out to you when you sort of look at him initially as sort of like that's something to keep an eye on?
Yeah, no, he's a good quarterback. He runs their offense really well, really efficiently. He's a dual threat, right? He's dangerous. You can't leave him unaccounted for. He can throw the ball well. He can run really well. So, I think he's a good quarterback, and I think it's a good challenge for our defensive unit.
Pretty good hair, though. You agree?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Tyler, I asked a similar question to Jack Kelly, but I want to get your thought on this. What's been the key to you guys having a more potent pass rush this year than what you had a season ago?
Again, I think chemistry is part of it. I think everybody understanding their role in the defense is another part of it. And then I think the last third of that is just execution. Guys executing how they're supposed to execute.
How much better prepared are you guys for Big 12 play this year than you were a year ago?
I would say we're significantly ahead of where we were last year. We learned a lot from last season. So we learned a lot. We've put a lot of that into our preparation in the off season and getting ready for this fall. So I think we're ready for it.
Take some more questions from Jay Drew and then Mitch Harper.
Tyler, we just talked to Parker about his welcome to the Big 12 moment. Can you think of one for yourself personally last year where you realized, man, this is different than what we've played in the past?
That's a good question. Not necessarily. I think that we have been, playing at a high level. I think we've been playing good competition in years past. I think maybe the biggest thing was just the week in, week out. Having the depth and just bringing the right mindset to every week. For me personally, I don't feel like there was necessarily one specific moment. But again, we're really happy to be in the Big 12, and especially now that we're into conference play this season, we're really excited.
Tyler, what is it about these late night games that gives BYU just so much juice for you guys? Like, what is it about these late night kicks?
I think it's our fans. I mean, overall, I really do. Lavelle just gets rocking. You know what I mean? As soon as the sun goes down, Lavelle's a dangerous place to be. I think I think a lot of that just really does come down to the home environment, the home atmosphere. We've got a great game day experience, and we've got great fans. So playing at home gives us definitely it's a big home field advantage.
Go ahead, Jared.
Tyler, you've played in a lot of close games. The Big 12's known for the close games. Already had some, had a dynamic one with UCF, TCU. What's the keys in those games, and how much fun are they as a player?
They're a ton of fun. I mean, those are the moments you live for. Really, is when you're out there and you're scrapping, and it's either you're either going to be really happy or you're going to be really sad. I love that part about the Big 12 is just you never know, week in, week out. It's competitive. It's fun. The key to winning those games just comes down to the basic football fundamentals. Take care of the ball, execute our scheme on offense and on defense, and that 9 times out of 10 will get you the win.
Any more questions for Tyler? Okay, I think you're all good. Thank
Sweet.
you so much for being on. Have a great week.
You bet.